we're nowhere close to that. And more than just waking people up and spreading information and knowledge and philosophy, there has to be a certain evolution that goes along with that. And maybe I'm I mean, because people say I'm too optimistic when I say like 20, 30 years as our generation comes into power, things are really going to change. And I'm very confident in that. But even that is not going to be the end of people thinking that they can violently impede other people's rights. You know, I mean, and the ideal of a voluntarist society, the minute somebody punches somebody else in the face in a bar fight, it's not a voluntary society. You know, and to set that standard as the ideal really is, I don't want to say unrealistic, because I don't want to, I like to be an optimist, but it is, you know, it is an ideal to strive for, not an ideal that we say we're going to achieve tomorrow. And so being an anarcho-pragmatist to me means that we should be bringing people together who share that vision, who understand that ideal, who believe in the philosophy of liberty, to move society in that direction and bring in people every way we can. And I don't think you have to compromise any of your, I don't think it's compromising your anarchist beliefs or your voluntarist beliefs to say, well, I'm going to register with the Republican Party. Say, you know, I'm endorsing the system. No, but if it's even if it's a slave suggestion box, you know, don't leave it empty. You know, even if it's nothing but that. So I think anything we can do to move people in that direction and recognize that really there's so many people, and you know, this is the hard thing about running for office, and this is why I have such an immense amount of respect for people like Gary Johnson and Ron Paul, having gone through it myself on, you know, a much smaller scale. You have to combine those principles and those ideals with creating, say, well, when I get into Congress, I'm just going to vote no for everything. I mean, that's what Paul does, and it's great, but he does a lot more than that. And he advocates from a lot more than that. And he does talk a lot about practical policy. And to a lot of anarchists, voting the way that Ron Paul votes no for stuff, you know, just because it's that way in the Constitution, you know, ends up putting him on the wrong side of some issues. And it's sort of like, really? I get really frustrated with that, and I think that you have to combine that with what is actually going to get us in that direction. I really respect people that take that hard line and say, well, you know what, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm going to be an anarchist voluntarist, and I'm going to live my life, and I'm going to advocate simply from that extreme philosophical position. I'm going to stand apart from the rest of society, and I'm going to ask people to come to me. I think that's an awesome form of activism. But I think with my opportunities in my life and with whatever capabilities that I have, you know, having one foot inside the matrix, you know, gets me to